So today we're going to install a new freshwater pump. It's the same as a washdown pump. Jolene called me earlier today and said we have no water. No pressure in the sinks, couldn't flush the toilets. So some of our how-to videos come strictly out of necessity and we need running water.
So here's the story of the Wandering Knapps. We are a family of 5 from Texas. Chris and Jolene met in 2nd grade and began dating our freshman year of high school. We got married in college, moved to Texas, had 3 boys, fell in love with the water, sold everything to travel the Caribbean. Join us on our adventure.
So for this project, here's some of the tools you're going to need. We're going to check and test our pump to make sure it's got power first. So you want to get your voltmeter here. And then of course we're going to need to secure it to the wall, possibly unscrew it if yours is mounted properly. So we've got your cordless drill here. Flashlight, always helpful, especially when working in a boat. Over here, we're going to use the connectors. We've got different butt connectors. Those are your 3 different sizes right there. That's what we're going to use to join the wires. And then of course once you put that on, you're going to need to use your heat gun to shrink it so it's watertight. Of course your diagonal wire cutters and your wire strippers, and these are also your wire crimpers that we'll use to crimp those as soon as we have the wire put in. We're going to need some plugs. I have water pushing against the pump right now from our water tank, so that'll plug the holes. These are really great. These come in a multi-package. Those are for plugging all kinds of holes in the boat should you need it in an emergency. And then of course you're going to want some good, especially in a marine environment, you're going to want some good stainless steel screws. So we're going to use those stainless steel screws to secure it to the wall. So this is our freshwater pump right here. This is our water heater. This is how it came installed in the boat. This is not correct. This pump should be mounted. Right now it just sits on top of there. So that's the pump that went out. We're going to go ahead and replace this with a new one, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually mount it up here on the wall because it needs to be mounted somewhere. But before I do anything, I'm going to grab my voltmeter and we're going to double check just to make sure that it's not a power problem. I'm fairly certain we have power here and the pump just burned out because it's been making noise for probably 3 or 4 weeks. It didn't sound right. So it didn't really surprise me when Jolene said, hey, freshwater pump's out. Let's grab that voltmeter and check that first. So I've got my voltmeter here. We got it set to DC power, so what we're looking for is 12 volts. We got one in the positive, one in the negative. Carter, go ahead and flip on the FW pump.
It's on.
Yep, so I got 12.01 volts. So I know I've got power. So I know it's not a power issue, so it's something wrong with the pump. All right, buddy, you can turn that off for me. Good. All right, so you can see we've got several butt connectors in here. These are the right ones, heat shrunk. These are not, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut right here and I'll put in new wire with the correct, these are not marine grade connectors right there. And even though the power's off, you still don't want to cut across both wires, just in case. Yeah, so it looks like that's just pressure from our water tank. So we'll just plug that. I actually have a plug up above me here. Just plug that, set that aside. Other one over here. It's not going to make it easy for you to see. So we've got both holes plugged. These plugs are handy. You buy a packet of them at your marine store. Small up to large. They're for plugging different holes in the boat in an emergency. So that's those. We'll do that for now, then we'll reuse those later on. So let's go get our new pump. So the way this hoses were, this guy's got to go to this side. So we want to make sure we mount it in a spot that this guy can make that turn. So we're going to go low like that. That should be good right there.
Not hide in there.
So here we're just reattaching our water lines. Simply push the hose back over the fitting, put your hose clamp on, and you're good to go. You want to make sure and put them on the same side they were before. Otherwise, you'll be pumping water the wrong direction in your water system. So there's our old power. The blue in this case is my positive, the black is the negative. New wires. We use a heat shrink butt connector. The blue ones are 14 to 16 gauge. I find that's the most common size in a boat. The next size bigger is the yellow, and then the next size down is the red. If you bought 100 of each size, you would be good. I mean, it's not like you're never going to use them. Use them all the time. So we're going to start by stripping our wires. Carter, will you hand me those red cutters? Okay. So these wires, technically you should have the yellow connectors because they're a little bigger. So I can just barely fit them in, which is fine. And these are the right size for those. Sometimes you got to pick your best fit and go for it. Your tool. There's your blue and red, so that's where you would crimp those dots. That's what color, and then the yellow would crimp down there. Really good squeeze. You can't squeeze them too hard. And then you always check, pull on them, and make sure they're not going to come out. This side, so black goes into black. Perfect. So now we'll just get our heat gun. We'll shrink those, and then we'll secure them over here to the side so they're not bouncing all over. So now we have a watertight connection. Be careful with those because they will be hot. Let them cool for a minute, and then we'll, like I say, we'll zip tie these up over here and secure them. Flip it.
It's on. Ooh.
There you go. Carter, go over to the sink and turn on the water. See if it works.
Running water.
All right, Carter, go ahead and turn it on. Off. Perfect. It worked. So like I said, we'll just clean up down here and we'll be all done. So thanks again for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. Please, we love your support. So make sure and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I promise we're not just a boat project channel, but it's part of boat life, right? We travel, we fix the boat. They say the definition of cruising is fixing your boat in exotic places. Right now we're fixing the Florida Keys. So like the video, subscribe, and hope you guys have a great day.